Hello everyone, it's Marty from Down the Rabbit Hole. It's been a while since I've created a downloadable DIY escape room game package. But today I've got a new one for you. I've decided to do something a little different this time. I've made this game with a love theme. So stick around to see how the game works and how you can get your hot little hands on it for a unique way to give the gift of love this year. Let me give you a quick overview of how I'm going to roll out this video. First, I'll show you what the newly printed PDF package actually looks like. Then I'll show you how to set it all up, including what to cut out, how to cut it, and how to lock it all away. Then I'll get my family to solve the puzzles and play the game so you can follow along and see how it all works. Then you'll know how to game master this escape room for your own players. Finally, I'll explain how you can order the Great Chocolate Chase PDF package for yourself. Okay, let me show you the printouts. So you're gonna end up with 10 pages of printed clues. 8 of them are color and 2 of them are black and white, just so you know when you go to do the printing. And sorry, you do have to print this one in color when required because the colors are part of the clues. They are a mix of portrait and landscape, and when you print them out, everything should be oriented properly. However, today in my video, some of the pages aren't printed out the right way. Long story short, I ran out of ink at home. I went to my kids' school and begged them to print stuff in color. They did, but it was kind of an inconvenience for them. So she just kind of click, click, click and printed everything. And so pages that should have been printed this way got printed this way. So the clue looks smaller in this video than what it will be when you get the PDF package. Your clue will print off this way and it'll be nice and big. Okay, so let's go through these pages and I will show you what to cut out and how to cut it. If you get lost or you need to revisit parts, just rewatch this section of the video as many times as you need. The first 7 pages of clues are just straightforward cutting out of the individual clue pieces using the black or sometimes pink lines. Anytime you see a box like this or this little guy, you're just gonna cut those out individually. Clue like the flower bouquet doesn't have a black line around it, but you can just kind of cut it out like so. Just make your own lines, kind of like that. You're gonna have a few pages in those first 7 clue pages. That should be full page. When you get this, it should print out as a full page, not like this. So you shouldn't have to cut these pages at all. You can just leave them as full pages. You're also gonna have 4 Valentine's Day cards. Again, yours are gonna be bigger, this size of a Valentine's Day card. When you cut these, don't cut the black line in the middle because they're cards. You're gonna cut them like this, and then you're gonna fold them like this so that they're these cute little cards. This is what I'm calling a pattern shelf, and you're gonna cut this one out as one big giant square, okay? Do not cut out all the little individual squares for this clue. This is a shelf, it stays as one unit. All right, and the last 3 pages of clues are a little more involved when it comes to the cutting, and you might even need an X-Acto knife for this guy, because we're gonna cut out these little white blocks to make tiny little windows. Okay, so this sheet, you can tell, has a message written across it, and it matches this sheet here in size. This one stays as one piece. This one, we're gonna cut all these squares up individually. So at the end of all that, you're gonna have a bunch of these little squares, and you shouldn't really be able to tell what it's trying to say. All right, this one's a little trickier. So what we want to do with this one is we want to cut out the black outline of a heart. This is like your chocolate box. So we want to have the box empty. So we're going to cut out the outline of the black heart, and then we're going to cut out all the individual jigsaw pieces. If you can see here, it's kind of got a jigsaw pattern. So I'm going to start by cutting out the whole heart. And then I'm gonna make a little slice right at the top of the heart so I can cut out the jigsaw pieces, and then this should just be an empty little shell at the end. And last but not least, we're gonna cut out this puzzle. So we're gonna start by cutting out the poem as just one big rectangle. Then we'll cut out this as one big rectangle. And then we will X-Acto out all the little white windows. When you're cutting out the poem, do your best to cut on the outside edge of the black line because we want to keep the black line so that our two rectangles are pretty much the exact same dimensions. All right, now we're going to X-Acto out these little white windows with an X-Acto knife. You can try using scissors, but I don't recommend it. I think this would be just way easier for your sanity. When you're X-Actoing stuff, make sure you've got like a little bit of cardboard or something underneath so that you don't scratch up your table or your countertop. And done. All right, now you get to be a little artsy crafty because we're gonna take 2 pieces of colored paper. Doesn't matter what color. Probably not black though, because you don't want the outline of your heart to not show up on black paper. We're gonna glue the heart onto a piece of paper like this so that it's just the outline of it here. You can see where I had to slit it in the top to get the jigsaw pieces out, but no one will know once we glue it down. So we're gonna glue the heart to the center of the page like so. Glue sticks probably better, but my children have stolen all the glue sticks, so I have to use white glue. Yeah, if you have a glue stick, use a glue stick. Luckily, this will dry clear. The second piece of paper we're going to staple on top to make it like the lid to the chocolate box. All right, there's just 2 more things left in the paper portion of the setup, and that is taking these 2 clues, which is the chocolate flavor guide and the customer service phone number clue. And we're gonna glue those onto our chocolate box because that's all part of the whole chocolate box thing. And then that's it. All the paper clues are set up and done. Okay, as for physical supplies, these are things that I don't provide because I can't ship them to you. I just email you the PDF package of all the clues, and then you have to round up the physical items. So you will need 7 boxes that you can lock up. And I have a big variety of things that I use as boxes. And if you don't have locks or locked boxes, you can also just use envelopes, and you can seal the envelopes shut with painter's tape. And then right on the painter's tape needs a 3-digit combination. And then your players can just verbally tell you the combination, and if they're correct, you can tell them to open the envelope. If they're incorrect, say no, try again, that sort of thing. So if you don't want to get boxes and locks, you do not have to. It is more fun with boxes and locks, but not a necessity. So if you are choosing to go with locked boxes, then you're going to need 3 4-digit combination locks, a 5-letter word lock, a 4-letter word lock, a 3-digit combination lock. And here's the kicker. You also need a 6-digit combination lock, and they do make them, and I ordered one off Amazon, and I will link the exact one that I ordered in the description box below, so you can order your own really cool 6-digit lock. However, recently Canada just had a polar vortex sweep through, which means insanely cold temperatures. So all the Amazon delivery trucks were just not on schedule, and my lock did not come in time. So instead of the 6-digit combination lock, today I'm gonna use 2 3-digit combination locks and just set the first half of the combo on one and the second half of the combo on the other. And you can do that as well if you don't want to order the 6-digit lock. But like, why wouldn't you have a 6-digit lock? It's pretty cool. You're also gonna need a plain envelope to put the love poem inside of. You're also gonna need some cinnamon candy hearts. So I just bought this bag at the dollar store. And you'll need a little container to put the hearts into. And finally, you need something to put in the final 7th lockbox. It can be your Valentine's Day gift to your loved ones, some jewelry, some chocolates, concert tickets, whatever you want, you can put into that final lockbox. That's their fun way to get their Valentine's Day gift. I am actually very, very, very hoping that somebody will use this game in order to propose to their special someone, which would be so cool. So my fantasy is that when your partner opens up that final 7th lockbox, there'll be a note inside that says, "Marry me?" And they're like, "What is this?" And they turn around and you're behind them on bended knee, and it would be so amazing. So if anybody does that and uses this game in order to propose, please, please send me photos. I would just love it so much. I think it would be so special. All right, let's walk through how to set up the game and prepare it for people to play. Step 1, take your love poem, put it inside your envelope. Now, not everything is going to get hidden inside of the locked boxes. We're going to have some things just laying around the room. So the things that will be just kind of out in the open or tucked under a pillow is your envelope with the love poem, 2 of the Valentine's Day cards, the semaphore code, and that is going to be taped up on the wall, the pattern shelf, and also taped up on the wall is going to be the bouquet of flowers. I've also given you a little script that you as the game master can read to get the game going. So you can either attach it to the front of the chocolate box if you want, or you can just keep it with you and read it. But this is how you're gonna get the game started. Of course, there's your little homemade chocolate box. This is what you're gonna hand to your players once you finish reading that opening script. This is lockbox 1. Lockbox, I say loosely. It's just one of those tote folders from the dollar store. And all I've done is used a hole puncher to punch a little hole through the material here. On the outside, you're gonna put this little tag here, bit of a clue that tells players when this box can be opened. And I'm using a bigger box for lockbox number 1 because you're gonna have a full page poster shoved inside. So inside lockbox number 1 goes the couples retreat poster. So inside lockbox number 1 goes 1 of the chocolate jigsaw puzzle pieces and 2 of the pattern tiles. Set your 4-digit lock to the code of 3442. Don't forget, reset your lock to 000 every single time. Don't forget to reset, or players are just gonna walk up to this box and open it straight away. We're gonna use this box for lockbox number 2 because again, it's gonna have a full poster page locked inside. This is just a craft box from the dollar store, but you can thread a lock through these little holes right here. Inside lockbox number 2, the flower garden poster, 1 more piece of the chocolate jigsaw puzzle, and 2 more pieces of the pattern tiles. So this is all gonna go into lockbox number 2, and it's going to be locked up with a word lock, a 5-letter word lock that spells adore. Now, as you can see, my word lock did not have all the letters I needed. So I just got some sticky paper and I made my own letters and I stuck them to the lock. The little trick I do is I like to put tissue paper inside my lock boxes, especially these ones where people can kind of crack them open and peek a tiny bit. And that just keeps the clues from shifting around. And also if people try to take a little snoop, they can't see anything because of the tissue paper. So here's everything in lockbox number 2. We're going to use a smaller box for lockbox number 3. On the outside, you're going to tape this little flower tag, and inside I've got the tissue, our little cutout window page, jigsaw piece number 3, 2 Valentine's Day cards, and then we're going to lock it up with a 4-digit combination lock. So for lockbox number 3, you're going to set your 4-digit combination lock to 7804. So lockbox 3 is all done and it's all been reset to 0. We're gonna set this aside for now. Okay, lockbox number 4 is a smaller one even still, and it doesn't have a tag on it this time. Inside lockbox number 4, we're gonna put the silhouette scroll, the one with the bird on it. You can fold it up or roll it into an actual scroll, doesn't matter. Another piece of the jigsaw puzzle, and it doesn't matter what order you're putting these jigsaw pieces in, just as long as they all end up in a box somewhere. Just 1 single pattern tile. And that's all that's gonna go in lockbox 4. Now lockbox number 4 is gonna get locked up with a 4-letter word lock. I have this one where the end cap can be taken off, and then you can rearrange all the letters. You can move, the black dial could go here, the pink dial could go here, etc. And I spelled the word Eros. That's gonna go onto lockbox number 4. Well, we're getting there. This is lockbox number 5. It's got to be a little bit bigger because your container of cinnamon hearts is going to fit into this one, okay? And this one is going to have this silhouette tag on the front to give players a little bit of a clue as to when this box gets opened. And inside we've got our tissue. We're going to put our 5th jigsaw puzzle piece inside. We're also going to put all the rest of the pattern tiles in here. All the rest can go in here now, so those are done. We're gonna take our cinnamon hearts and we have to count out exactly 22. So we're gonna put our 22 cinnamon hearts into the container. Once you put your cinnamon hearts into lockbox 5 and everything's inside, you're gonna lock it shut with a 4-digit combo lock that is set to 8492. Here is lockbox number 6. It is gonna have the cinnamon candy tag on it. And inside are 2 things, our last jigsaw puzzle piece and this little riddle about how to serve chocolate to your guests. And then we're gonna lock it with a 3-digit combination lock. The lock on lockbox number 6 will be set to 418. And then once you've got the lock nice and secure, you're gonna reset the dials to 0. And dun da da da, here is the last box, lockbox number 7. You're gonna have to make this box whatever size you need for whatever you're gonna put in there. If it's a jewelry box, that might fit something like this. If it's, I don't know, like a stuffed animal in a box of chocolates, you're probably gonna wanna use a bigger box like something like this. For my intents and purposes, I'm just putting in a note, so I'm just gonna be able to fold it up and shove it inside. And for those of you with a note that says, "Marry me," that would fit in here as well. On top of this box, we're gonna put our chocolate tag. And then inside, you'll put your gift or your note or whatever you need. And then this is where you would put the 6-digit lock, but since mine is on an Amazon truck, we're gonna use 2 3-digit locks. The final code to the game is actually 532736, which had you a 6-digit lock, like I wish I had, it would all fit onto the same one. But because I only have 2 3-digit locks to work with, I'm gonna put the first half of the code here, 532, and the second half here, 736, and then I'm gonna put both onto the hasp. Gonna quickly set everything up in the room real fast. We are ready to go. I'm just gonna read them the opening script and hand them the chocolate box and then set them loose. The game begins when the game master reads the intro script to the players. In the script, players are encouraged to check over the box of chocolates and to not complain, with emphasis on that word. The phone number clue we glued onto the lid of the chocolate box earlier also mentions the word complaints, so hopefully players zero in on that. One phone number in the sequence is missing its last 4 digits. That could be a code.
Like fall teams, so 2334, 3322 could be a pattern.
To solve this puzzle, players need to look at the previous phone numbers. The number of lines used to create each letter in the phone number's word is what is used to create the 4-digit number behind it. For example, if only 2 lines are used to make the letter T, then the number 2 is used to represent T. I used 3 lines to make the letter I, so now 3 represents I. There are 4 lines in the letter M, and 4 lines are needed to make the letter E. Using this system for the word in the incomplete phone number, players will get a code of 3442.
Ready?
Yeah.
Another clue, Watson. The best couples retreats.
Inside the next box, players find the couples poster and the other smaller pieces they can't use yet. The Game Master can tell them to just set those smaller pieces aside and focus on the poster. Players should notice that the couples have weird arms, and upon discovering the semaphore cipher key, put 2 and 2 together. Using the cipher key, they can decode the arms, which spell DOEAR. But a clue at the bottom of the poster hints that the retreats need to be put in order. Using the picture clues found behind each couple, players can rearrange the letters to spell adore. The word adore opens the lock on the second box. Inside is the flower garden cipher key, along with the smaller clues, which players will again set aside. They should recognize the flowers from the bouquet that we taped to the wall. Deciphering the bouquet gives them a code of 7804. This code opens the box with the flower tag. Inside is the mask for the poem, 2 of the Valentine's Day cards, and 1 more chocolate jigsaw piece. Hopefully, players have found the love poem in the envelope by now. My family hadn't. And will notice the mask clue and the poem are the exact same size. The mask reveals certain words and phrases within the poem that create a bit of a riddle, which is actually a word puzzle. The riddle is asking players to find certain letters in specific spots of a word. For example, the center of forever is actually the letter E, found right in the middle of the word forever. Using the clues, players will get a code of Eros.
Good job.
Inside this box is another jigsaw piece, another tile piece, and the silhouette clue. The silhouettes are all images found on the fronts of the Valentine's Day cards. This tells players what order to put the cards in. On the back of each card is a phrase, and each phrase subtly mentions a direction. A clue at the bottom of the silhouette scroll helps players translate the 4 directions they've discovered into a 4-digit code.
There we go.
Got it.
Good work. Good teamwork.
The next box is where we hid the cinnamon hearts, the rest of the pattern tiles, and 1 more jigsaw piece. Don't let your players eat the candy just yet. Players have to place the pattern tiles in the correct spots on their pattern shelf in order to read the secret message. Then a little math is in order. If they do the math right, they'll get a code of 418. This code opens the second last box, which contains the final jigsaw piece and the chocolate serving riddle. The jigsaw can be put together inside the empty chocolate box. Players need to solve the chocolate serving riddle to know what order to put the chocolates in. Then they need to count how many of each chocolate there is. They will use the flavor guide to help them do this. This will then create a 6-digit code, which will unlock the final box with your gift inside.
Surprise! This is all you get after all that hard work. Just a piece of paper. Okay, that would be mean, but what else could fit inside this box? It's pretty small. I know. What about this? Pin and spin. A crypto book?
Yes, this is how we told the kids we were heading to Vegas on a family trip. They were pretty pumped. I'd love to see what you put in your final lockbox. Please feel free to share your photos with me by tagging Down the Rabbit Hole on Facebook and Instagram. So if you think this game is something you'd like to try with your own friends, family, or loved one, here's how you can order. Down in the description box under this video is my PayPal link. Use that to send me $10 Canadian, I know, so pricey. And please add a note in PayPal that you've sent the money for the Great Chocolate Chase game. And please, in the notes section, add your email so that I know where to send the PDF package to. If for some reason you can't leave a note for me in PayPal when you make your order, feel free to send me a quick email. It's down the rabbit hole, rabbit with a W, @gmail.com. I think it's also in the description box, really easy to find. And just let me know that you've recently purchased the Great Chocolate Chase and that you need me to send it to you, and I will have your email address because you've sent me an email. And that's it. Pretty easy. Also, I do apologize that this video was so long. I think this might be one of the longest I've ever made. But this video is your setup guide. It's showing you how to pack all your boxes and how to roll out the game. I don't have any of that written in the PDF package because it makes it way too big to email. So while you're setting up your game, feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you need in order to set up all your boxes and get your game prepped. Good luck and happy Love Day to you all.